Ahlan wa sahlan mtazamaji kutoka hapa katika chumba cha matangazo, ikiwa ni mwendo saa 5 kamili saa za Afrika Mashariki, ambapo kwa sasa tunapeperusha taarifa za TV47 matukio awamu ya kwanza kutoka hapa katika jiji kuu la Nairobi. Mimi ni mtangazaji wako Paul Kirobi. Nitakuwa nimefanya vibaya iwapo nitakosa kukujuza baadhi ya taarifa tu ambazo tutakuwa tunazidi kufuatilia kwa kina zaidi siku itakavyokuwa inasonga mbele. Kwanza kabisa kwenye taarifa ya kwanza ni kwamba kesi ya mauaji aliyokuwa mwanafunzi wa chuo cha Rongo Sharon Otieno itakuwa inaendelea siku ya leo. Kumbuka kesi hiyo ilikuwa inamhusisha aliyekuwa gavana wa Migori Okoth Obado. Na mbali na taarifa hiyo, taarifa nyingine ni kwamba Rais William Ruto amekamilisha ziara yake ya siku 2 katika taifa la India. Ni taarifa ambayo itakuwa tunazidi kuchanganua kwa mapana na marefu zaidi kuhusiana na ziara yake katika taifa la India. Na mbali na taarifa hiyo, kongamano la wajumbe wa NAT ambapo naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua anatarajiwa kufungua rasmi kongamano la wajumbe wa chama cha kitaifa cha walimu NAT. Ni taarifa ambayo itakuwa tunazipa kipaumbele katika chumba chetu cha habari na kujua ni yepi ambayo itakuwa inajitokeza itakapotimu mwendo wa baadaye. Lakini nitakuwa nimefanya vibaya mtazamaji iwapo nitakosa kukufunza mawili matatu katika maisha ya kila siku.
Methali ya leo: limbukeni hana siri.
Limbukeni ni mtu asiye na uzoefu wa jambo au hali fulani.
Maana ya methali hii ni kwamba mtu anayefurahia matokeo ya kitu alichokipata kwa mara ya kwanza aweza kushindwa kujizuia hata kama ni jambo la siri.
Matumizi: hupigiwa mfano mtu atoaye siri za jambo aliloshiriki, hasa kwa kuwa ni mara yake ya kwanza.
Bila shaka mtazamaji, habari umeipata. Kwa sasa tunaanza moja kwa moja ambapo Kenya inalenga kushirikiana na taifa la India katika sekta ya utengenezaji bidhaa, ikipania kupata wawekezaji kutoka nchi hiyo watakaotumia rasilimali zetu na nishati mbadala ili kuimarisha Kenya kama kitovu kikuu cha viwanda barani Afrika. Aidha, Kenya itashirikiana na India katika sekta ya afya ili kuboresha upatikanaji wa vifaa vya matibabu vya bei nafuu na kuchangia katika kuboresha huduma za afya kwa wote. Haya yaliafikiwa wakati wa ziara ya Rais William Ruto akiwa katika taifa la India.
I am proud that Kenya and India are united by history, trade and friendship, which are expressions of our common experience and shared values, most salient of which are the love for freedom and enterprise and the peaceful pursuit of progress in a robust democracy. Across the Indian Ocean, therefore, is a vast sea of opportunity and commonality, which can float all Kenyan and Indian boats in their voyages into the future. Every sector is sailing in this epic quest. Today, we have affirmed that West Kenya and India enjoy a proud history of successful friendship. What we can achieve in the future, given our shared values as well as our shared commitment, is far greater and will endure for the benefit of generations now and generations to come. I had a robust conversation with the government of India today, and I am very, very proud of the outcome of the consultations that we had.
Tukiachana na taarifa hiyo mtazamaji, huku kampeni dhidi ya dhulma za kijinsia ikiendelea kote nchini, baadhi ya viongozi wa kidini wametajwa kuendeleza hulka hiyo, hali ambayo imesababisha naibu kamanda wa polisi wa Kimilili Evans Nyakundi kwa ushirikiano na shirika la Red Cross kutoa hamasisho kwa viongozi hao wa kidini. Leo viongozi hao wa kidini kutoka kaunti ndogo ya Kopsiro, eneo bunge la Mlima Elgon, wamekutana ili kujadili jinsi watakabiliana na visa hivyo. Eneo bunge la Mlima Elgon ni miongoni mwa maeneo yanayoshuhudia idadi kubwa ya visa vya dhulma za kijinsia na mimba za utotoni, na wakazi wametakiwa kuripoti visa hivyo kwa polisi.
Physical violence, I think it's around 62%. And the other measures like sexual, and then a combination of them, emotional and so on. All those indicators are high, and all are above the national average.
Nimechukua jukumu hili kwa kuwa kama serikali inavyosema na polisi vile tunavyoamini ya kwamba ni heri kuzuia kuliko kuponya. Prevention is better than cure. Swala hili wakati tunalipata sisi wote tuchangie kwamba tuende kule kwa mwananchi, tuhamasishe mwananchi, itakuwa ni bora sana kuzuia.
Tumegundua ya kwamba kuna wachungaji ambayo wameendelesha hii dhuluma kwa washiriki zao, hata wakipachika washirika zao mimba, wakifanya mambo za defilement, na tumesema ya kwamba wachungaji kama hawa ambao hawana ile ethics, lazima serikali iwachukulia hatua.
Kuna baadhi ya vitu ambaye hatuoni kama ni dhuluma. Tunaona tu kama ni kitu kawaida kwa sababu tuliona wazee wetu walianzisha kitambo. Kwa mfano, mambo ya ukeketaji. Kwa utafiti inaonyesha ya kwamba sehemu yetu ya Bungoma tuko na 3% ya ukeketaji.
Tukiachana na taarifa hiyo, kwa sasa tunaelekea maeneo mengine hasa katika kaunti ya Bungoma ambapo wanaharakati wa kutetea haki za kibinadamu kutoka kaunti ya Bungoma wameelezea kusikitishwa kwao na idadi kubwa ya kesi za watoto mahakamani. Wanadai kuwa licha ya kesi zinazohusisha watoto kuwasilishwa kotini, mwishowe kesi hizo zimeishia kutowatendea haki watoto hao. Mwanahabari wetu Wanji Sostin amezungumza na wanaharakati hao na kwa sasa anaungana nasi moja kwa moja. Wanji Sostin, kwako mpira.
Naam, shukran. Huku taifa likiendelea kuadhimisha siku 16 za maadhimisho ya uhamasisho wa dhuluma za kijinsia nchini, hapa katika kaunti ya Bungoma washikadau mbalimbali ama watetezi wa haki za kibinadamu haswa haki za watoto wameweza kulalamikia kwamba kesi nyingi ambazo zimekuwa zikiwasilishwa kotini ama mahakamani hazijaweza kuwa zikifua dafu kufuatia ama kuingiliwa na wale ambao walikuwa labda wameshtakiwa kuhongana, na vilevile watoto wanaishia pasipo na kupata haki. Na pasipo na kunena mengi, hebu tuweze tu kusikia yale yote ambayo walikuwa wakizungumuza hapo mbeleni.
Kuna mambo ya neglect issues, kuna mambo ya defilement issues, kuna mambo ya trafficking issues. Sasa ni kesi tofauti tofauti zenye ziko kotini. Pasipo hata hii wiki hii siku tunaadhimisha siku 16 za activism kuhusu mambo ya gender based violence, lakini hatuchakuwa na hata kesi zenye zimefaulu sana kuhusu mambo ya watoto. Tunataka kuanalyze hata tusherekee one of the cases yenye at least mtoto amefaulu, lakini Bungoma mambo mengi ya legal literacy for children tuko chini kiasi, kwa sababu hata hiyo body ya law reform hawajatupea hiyo mambo ya proponal lawyers, wakili wa kujitolea. Hatuchakuwa nao kuweza kusimamia cases za watoto, na tumeona much of the cases in court sinatupa kwa ajili watoto hawajui, hawajai interact na police, hawajai interact na court, hawajai interact na systems za justice. Hiyo ndio inatakana ku-intensify more to help children even attend some of the court processions, waone court inafanya namna gani, hata tupate police waende kwa shule waongeleshe watoto kuhusu kureport case. Children officers tuwapeleke katika mashinani waongeleshe wazazi na watoto mambo ya kuprofile cases, ndio ziweze kufaulu katika court zetu.
BISAREN is a union of organizations that are working fund with the children in Bungoma County, and through our work with the Save the Children, they are implementing a 3-year project called Breath of Skills, which is a project that is aiming at promotion and achievement of holistic skills learning in our basic education institutions, that is pre-primary and also primary. So in Bungoma County, we are implementing this project to support the County Department of Education and Vocational Training to ensure that learners in pre-primary are getting holistic learning which is not only based on literacy and numeracy skills, but also we want to see learners who are better developed, learners who can be able to be innovators, better communicators, who are properly engaged, and also who can be able to use the digital space.
Siku hizi zinapoelekea kukamilika, jinsi ambavyo mmeweza kusikia, wito wao na ombi lao ni kwamba washikadau wote waweze kuzingatia haki haswa za watoto ambao huwa wanadhulumiwa kijinsia. Kumbuka kwamba kaunti ya Bungoma, kutokana na ripoti ya KDHS, kaunti ya Bungoma iliweza kusajili 19% ya wale watoto ambao waliweza kuathirika na visa vya mimba za mapema. Ni hayo tu kwa sasa, narejesha kwako kutoka kaunti ya Bungoma. Mimi ni Wanji Sostin.
Na tukiacha habari yake Wanji Sostin, kwa sasa tunarejea hapa jijini Nairobi, ambapo kwa sasa swala la utumiaji wa mtandao wa kijamii katika kueneza habari za kongamano la vijana la Youth Connekt Africa inaendelea katika ukumbi wa KICC, ambapo vijana wanaotumia mtandao wa TikTok wamehudhuria hafla hii ambayo imeandaliwa na Wizara ya Michezo pamoja na mtandao wa TikTok, huku Waziri Ababu na Mwamba pamoja na viongozi wengine wakihudhuria. Kwa sasa wacha tuvuke moja kwa moja katika jumba la mikutano la KICC, tutazame ni kipi ambacho kinaendelea kwa sasa.
Turn around, pick someone and take a selfie. Pick your phone, turn on your cameras. Let's do some selfies. Chipukizi, this is where you take an advantage to take a photo with me, you know. I can't see selfies on that table, Some selfies. Okay, flip a little bit to another person, take another selfie. Yeah, sure. Flip to another one person. Flip. Fortune, you can take a selfie with the entire room. Just come with your camera here. Just take one selfie with the room. Just do a move. Do something at the count of 3. So 1, 2, 3, take a move. 1, 2, 3, take another move. 1, 2, 3, take another final move. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the selfies. Welcome to Nairobi. We are having a moment in Nairobi from yesterday. We are meeting the entire youth of Africa in Nairobi, and therefore your event could never have been better timed. I remember having a conversation with Zara here and Fortune, and they wanted another date earlier, and I kept telling them your best date is this week. And they finally agree with me that this is the week that this event was best held. I'll say 2 things about TikTok because you're in the event. 2 months ago, in our parliament, there was a petition to ban TikTok from Kenya. And the issue was about regulation. Fortune quickly reached out to us, and they met with the CS, met with the CS-ICT, and also met with the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto. On that content moderation, we also spoke to the global CEO on a virtual meeting with the President, asking for content moderation. TikTok has moved so fast, unbelievably so, that in the last 2 months, moderation on TikTok is at a 100% about turn. And we congratulate you, TikTok, for ensuring that you meet our community guidelines. And we appreciate that the platform now is actually sharing clean content and empowerment content. That is not the only thing that TikTok has done, even as they come to do what they have come to do today. They have also gone further and increased the frequency of monetization on the platform. So more people have actually joined the platform because of those major measures that have been done. So to you, TikTok, congratulations. And thank you for choosing Nairobi as part of your main places to come and launch this fund. I'm sure we will continue working out the few other things that we have to work out, but you have met 80% of your bargain. It is now our time to meet our part of the bargain. We discussed about about advertisement on the platform by government. We want to assure you that we are changing our focus on advertisement in government to ensure that we use social media platforms because of their reach to do the advertisements. Before you leave Nairobi, we will sign something that will, of course, be good for you so that we can also meet our part of the bargain. Our second part of the bargain was about banning TikTok. I can assure you and that we are not going to ban TikTok in Kenya. And finally, as we do this event, we also welcome you. Please don't fold up after this event. Stay with us. Starting the 8th to the 12th, we are doing Kenya at 60. We are having our 60th birthday. You have no reason to leave Kenya at 60th birthday. Please stay around. And number 2, we have Youth Connekt, which is basically bringing together 22,000 delegates, and beyond the delegates, it's a platform for African youth to have a conversation with their leaders. And being leaders on the social media platform would be good for you to be around. We appreciate that on very short notice, you have actually set up an experiential platform at the room upstairs so that our youth and the youth coming from Africa can be able to interact. So we hope you will stay around, and you can talk to the youth in Africa. We'll give you platforms to be able to interact and for people to be able to ask questions. So please stay in Nairobi, and on the 12th, we have a major party in Nairobi to celebrate our 60th birthday and to bring together the people in the youth, the creative economy, and the sports. Our star winning athletes, our football team, which is currently is in the finals of a regional tournament. So stay around, and from now on, Fortune, I hope I won't be seeing you in a blazer. We allow you to wear Bafana or even Springboks because it's an African event. Or I'm sure you came with your jersey. If not, we'll get you one as an offer from the chairman. We'll make sure you have one so that you can wear our Harambee Stars. You can come over and interact with us. So welcome to Nairobi, and stay in Nairobi for the period. We will play that video because I understand it's still downloading on that side. We'll play it as we go on as part of this. Thank you very much, Chipukizi, and welcome to Nairobi.
Asante. We apologize for the challenge. Kindly, mshahara please musiguze. Tuko ni jokes. Pigeni chairman makofi tafadhali juu ya mshahara yangu.
Thank you very much. On to our next speaker. We'll have Sarah Ngalawa. She's the East Africa Regional Director at YSB. Wapi makofi yake?
Makofi ya Sarah tafadhali. Karibu sana. Tumpigeni makofi vizuri asikie vizuri mpaka afike.
Yeah.
Karibu Sarah.
Do you want to dance now or later?
Never. Later.
Anybody in favor of her getting away with it, say aye. Aye. All right, karibu sana.
His Excellency Honorable Ababu Nomamba, Cabinet Secretary, Youth Affairs, Sports and the Arts. Bwana Dennis Itumbi, Chairman, National Committee, National Celebration. UN Resident Coordinator, Dr. Stephen Jackson, dignitaries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Our story as Yunus Social Business started about 13 years ago. Professor Muhammad Yunus, the Nobel Peace Prize laureate for 2006, together with Saskia Brewston and Sophie Eisman, felt it was best to start an impact fund specifically to provide debt for social businesses. If you look at Kenya, the last research that we did, of all the social businesses, what they said was 50% of them were successful in actually getting capital of any form. And the most difficult capital for them to get was actually debt capital. 68% said that. So we come in to provide that sort of debt capital and do so by also providing loan structures that are suited for this business. In Kenya, we have various investments. One of them is Alive and Kicking. 70% of their raw materials are locally sourced. They make really great footballs that are used to educate and also increase access to play for thousands of children. As a precursor to the World Cup last year, there was an event, the Street Children's World Cup. Their ball was actually used for that tournament by the Qatar Foundation. Arsenal, currently on top of the EPL, as well as Man City, number 3, are their customers as well. Then we have Button and BAMBA, a company that wants to make great brands from local local farmers. So they have sweet tunda, and they also have crackies. Please taste them as you go. What they've done is ensure consistent market for these farmers. They train the farmers so that they can have better yields, and that training also actually allows them to get certification so that they can be able to export their products. So far, they've trained over 4,000 farmers. And then there's DGE, which you've heard of already. In the impact sector, there are also places people decided not to go. David Wanjau decided that is not what is going to happen. These other customers in the last mile do need solar products. So far, he has an army of 400 village social entrepreneurs, and they have reached 30,000 families with those solar products. And then there's Ed Partners. They are the only local, regionally focused lender for education. And they focus on low-cost schools. These are schools in low-income communities. We approved this investment during COVID when schools were closed. So it tells you how much faith we had in who they were and what they were doing. By the grace of God, schools opened. When we started, the children that they were serving was 43,000, and as at end of September this year, they have almost quadrupled that to serve 165,000 students. I'm proud to say we were the first lender on board for that business. And then we also have DVC, a value chain that is completely ignored in this country, which is soybean. We import majority of the soybean we use. Farmers in Western Kenya actually say they can't grow it because there's no market. So what this business did was, we will make sure that you have a market. So they started as a trader. And now, a few months ago, they actually commissioned their factory to begin processing here in Kenya. I think James Ododa is here. They actually serve 2,500 customers at the moment. That's farmers that they buy from. And then there's We Center. As you know, Kenya is the Silicon Savannah. We all use our phones. Nobody asks what we do with these phones afterwards. So We Center comes to solve a particular problem, which is responsible collection and reuse of electrical and electric waste. So far, they have recycled 10,000 tons of waste. They have trained 3,000 waste pickers. They are currently buying from about 600 of them. They say they have capacity to buy from more. So in case you're not sure what to do with your electric waste, please pass through their booth and ask them what you should do with it. Those businesses truly represent what is great about this country. So TikTok, you did pick the right country on this continent to start your work. Our entrepreneurs truly are the dreamers, the doers, and the change makers. And we are extremely honored to be part of the work that they are doing. The work that we do takes very many people. Here we say it takes a village. And we warmly welcome TikTok to this village. Yesterday, I think it was Ara who was telling me that TikTok actually supports 5 million small and medium businesses in the US. So it's not lost on us the catalytic effect that this could have on social business and our country and our continent as a whole. Thank you very much for opening your hearts and minds to this. You've given us capital to invest in our businesses. You've coupled that with digital assets and your staff. In essence, TikTok's purse, its platform, its people are working in Kenya for Kenyan social businesses. And we continue to look forward to harnessing the power of business to address the challenges of poverty and the negative effects of climate change. To our chief guest, a special thank you that you have graced this occasion and come here to be with us. We appreciate your commitment to youth and to enterprise. We also want to thank a small team of people I know some of them have not slept. It's not showing, thankfully, who've worked on this quite a bit. Ara and David Barnes, I think you curated this partnership initially. Thank you, Fortune. Thank you, Zara, and the whole team that is behind you. Thank you to Joe, who's not here with us, and Eva as well. I know they've done quite a lot of running around. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your presence and audience. May God bless you all.
Another round of applause. Thank you so much. You forgot to thank one team. Arsenal. Thank you very much. Thank you. That is wonderful, understanding the kind of support we are getting at this particular point. And at this particular juncture, I'd like to invite someone who's declared they will not dance. Very cool guy. He's the, he's the resident coordinator, United Nations, Dr. Stephen Jackson. Karibu sana. It's okay, you can dance in your head. In your head, you can dance very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for letting me off the dancing. This is TikTok, right? So I've got, what, a minute and a half maximum? Yeah, so we're about to get started with Youth Connekt, and Waziri Chair Marafiki, I wanted to do a bit of old Connekt before we do Youth Connekt. How many people in this room are old enough to remember 1986? Hands up. I mean, meaning you lived through 1986, right? Very, very few. Okay, that was the first year I ever visited this beautiful country. I was a student in Ireland, and I came as a backpacker. And the matatu, bringing me and my friends up from Moshi in Tanzania, dropped us off right in front of what I didn't know was KICC. And I literally got out of the matatu and went. Now, quite a few of the TikTokers have now either visited or lived and worked in Dublin, and Dublin is a very changed city. Back in 1986, we had no buildings as tall as KICC. We had no skyscrapers, and this Irishman had never been to New York. So I'd only ever seen skyscrapers on the TV. And I was stunned to see a building of that importance, that scale, that ambition. And it taught me something about Kenya and about Africa. And it made me think that this is what I wanted to do for a living. And that is a true story. So every time I come into KICC, I like to share that story because it's just a thrill, actually, to find myself being asked to make some remarks here. I just can't believe it when I think of myself as a young man. But it's also very symbolic for me of Kenya's journey and Kenya's development journey, which has been really remarkable over those nearly 40 years since 1986, and as we are on the verge of celebrating Kenya's 60th birthday. I've got a second pop quiz for you, which is about the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. I'm sure you've all heard of them, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals that were adopted in 2015. Who knows who the two countries were that led the negotiations and got that rugby ball of the SDGs over the try line in 2015 at the United Nations General Assembly? Who were those two countries? Shout them out. Kenya and Ireland, the two together. Isn't that beautiful? And those SDGs, for me, are a symbol of that journey as well, that Kenya has been on, but that Ireland is on as well, because the SDGs are actually universal. That's what's so magical about them. They don't pretend that Kenya needs development and Ireland has it. They say that we all are on a sustainable development journey. And in fact, and I was in Parliament just yesterday talking about this, there are SDGs in which Kenya is ahead of Ireland, climate being one very notable one. But how are we going to get to the Sustainable Development Goals? The estimates, and I think it's already been said, the estimates are that we need trillions of dollars of investment to get the world to those 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Well, guess what? The United Nations doesn't have trillions of dollars. Waziri, I have a lot of respect for you, but I don't think you've got trillions of dollars. The national government of Kenya doesn't have trillions of dollars, and neither does the national government of Ireland. Actually, who has trillions of dollars? It's the global private sector. That's where the rocket fuel for the journey to the Sustainable Development Goals is going to come from. It's from the private sector. And it's from that intersection, that Venn diagram that's already been described by Ara and others this morning, Susan, that brings commercial profit, economic profit, together with social impact and environmental sustainability, what we call the triple bottom line. And to engender that, you need public-private partnership. Now, Kenya has been a leader on public-private partnership for quite a long time, bringing private sector investment into that journey towards sustainable development for all. And I can say this sincerely, I was astonished coming to Kenya. I feel like the Kenyan private sector is more on message than the private sector in my home country or in many parts of the global north about the need to realize that. Yeah, I think that's worth a round of applause. You have one of the biggest global compact networks here in the world that brings together private sectors around the SDGs. And Ara, I think you said it, you have an incredible launchpad and laboratory for social entrepreneurship here in Kenya. You have an incredible ecosystem, and much has been accomplished. So what do we still need? Well, we need to bring the hustlers into the equation, right? So to some extent, what we're seeing is large-scale investment in the SDGs, but we need it also at the micro level, and we need it to be both a source of revenue, but a source of employment for hustlers. What's the hold-up? Deal flow. Many of the deals that are being put on the table are too small to attract the attention of institutional investors. That's where we were talking about investing in the missing middle is so critical, and I think that that's very much the approach that Professor Yunus espouses. We need the visibility. We need the flow of, and we need to bring down the cost of the flow of capital. And just 3 months ago, I guess, President Ruto was in these very halls at the Africa Climate Summit making a really resolute appeal to bring down the cost of capital. What he said was, guess what? The world has a climate problem, Africa has the solutions. We've got the largest remaining reserve of uncultivated arable land in the world. 66% of it is here on the African continent. We have the largest natural endowment of renewable energy in the world here in Africa, be it solar, hydro, geo, wind, you name it, we've got it. We have one of the 2 lungs of the planet in the Congo rainforest. So he said, it's not about African solutions for African problems, it's about African solutions for the global climate crisis. What's holding us back? The cost of capital. It was already alluded to at the micro level, it's true at the macro level, true. Africa pays 8 to 10 times as much for development borrowing and development debt as, say, a country like Ireland. And as President Ruto pointed out in these very halls 3 months ago, he said, you know, there was a coup in Niger. The following morning, the bond yields on Kenyan bonds were negatively impacted by that coup, which is 6,000 kilometers away. That's more than twice the distance between, let's say, Portugal and Poland. Niger, we regret the coup, but it has nothing to do with Kenya's economy, nothing at all, but international markets reacted negatively to it for Kenya. As he said then, what's up with that? So there's a lot of work that we have to do to bridge the gap between that massive opportunity that exists here in Kenya and on the African continent, and that massive obligation to bridge the gap between the ambition of the Sustainable Development Goals and the reality of our ability to deliver. And a big part of that is going to be making these public-private partnerships work at the large scale and at the level of the hustlers. That's why I'm really, really encouraged to be here at this TikTok Empower event. I think you guys have picked an amazing country to be working in. Some years ago, well, so 1986, to go back to the theme of Ireland, Ireland in 1986, I don't know if anybody studied their economic history, it was an economic backwater. We were the joke of Europe, we were the poor man of Europe. We were members of the European Union, but our indicators were down here. And about 10 years later, the journey to what's called the Celtic Tiger, which made us the fastest growing economy in the world, began in about 1992. And a bunch of economists sought to try to work out what were the conditions that had led to this explosion. Until one smart economist said, no, you're asking the wrong question. It's the other way around. What held you back for so long? Because after all, in Ireland, we had a massively young, massively highly educated, English-speaking, underemployed population, just waiting to be given opportunity. Well, I could have just described Kenya, couldn't I? Massively young, 35 million under the age of 35, super educated, super ambitious, just waiting to let their energies go in the service of developing Kenya, Africa, and the world. What we need to do is unlock that. We do it through public-private partnership. We're taking a great step today in this event. And as I finish, Waziri, what better way to celebrate Kenya's 60th anniversary, this incredible development journey that you've been on and that is going to continue like that, than to hold Youth Connekt right on the eve of Jamhuri Day. I really want to congratulate you for that, to thank TikTok for the opportunity to say to all of the hustlers in the room, you are the future. We on the United Nations side are really looking forward to working with all of these good people at the top table to make sure that that future is secured for you. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much.
And if I run down quickly enough, you won't make me dance, right?
You know, Kenya, we are runners. I'll just catch up before you get to the table. Thank you very much, sir. Asante sana. So I think the video is ready. We can run the video for 2 minutes. Then we go to the next part of this event.
Opportunity. I think this opportunity
Wonderful, wonderful. Our Honorable CS is good at doing content creation, isn't he? Did you? that was awesome. Karibuni sana. Tell your neighbor Nairobi is lit. And once again, I'd like to invite Ara back to stage. Asante sana. I think if there's someone who's having fun today is Ara. Wapi makofi yake? Thank you so much. There's a big presentation she has, and I'm going to request you to invite Zara and Fortune.
The beauty of this partnership between TikTok and Social Business is that it has three pillars. One of investment in selected social enterprises, one of training, education, empowerment, and mentoring, and the third one is around communications in-app, so that that message is replicated and amplified much beyond the few that we are able to support. It's a pleasure to invite my colleagues, esteemed colleagues, Fortune and Zara, onto the stage. Chief guest, I would also like to invite you to the stage. As part of this investment, the chief guest will be announcing who the first investment goes to.
Some drum rolls, please.
Okay, here we go. As part of this TikTok and UNI's social business partnership, I am pleased to announce the first recipient of the investment in Kenya. And that is BAMBA Manufacturing. Let us give it up, BAMBA Manufacturing.
Come on, we can do better, guys.
Let us give it up to
them.
BAMBA Manufacturing. Hongera sana.
We can do much better, guys. Let's appreciate.
Makofi, makofi, tafadhali, ladies and gentlemen, one more time.
Chairman of National Celebration, Dennis Itumbi, the UN Resident Coordinator, Dr. Stephen Jackson, our hosts and investors, TikTok and Yunus, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. So our founder and CEO, Peter Scott, sends his greetings from the COP28 in Dubai. He would have loved to be here. But I'm proud and happy on his behalf and on behalf of the entire BAMBA family to accept your investment this morning. So over 1.1 million people in Africa die prematurely from indoor pollution as a result of cooking with dirty fuel. And majority of these are women and our children. And we were discussing with Ara that especially children below one month old, a lot of them pass on just because of this. So BAMBA was founded with a mission to save lives and to save forests, and this remains our North Star to this day. We were founded in 2011, and currently we are the world's largest clean cook stove company and carbon project developer. So, thank you. And the first time Yunus invested in us in 2019, We actually had sales of 200,000 units in the entire year, but last year we did 1 million units in sales, and this year we are bound to do over 1.5 million units in sales across the entire Africa. So we moved from a single product, single country company, into a single product, to a multiple product, multiple country, multiple channel product company. So far we've sold 4.1 million stoves, which have impacted 22.5 million lives, saved 9 million tons of wood, and saved and avoided 17 million tons of carbon. On average, each of our stoves saves families $119 every single year, and in total we've saved $683 million USD across families in Africa. So, and one thing I'd also like to call out is that we're actually profitable, right? So it is possible to be a social enterprise and be profitable. So then I think I would welcome you later on to check out our stand, where you will see the different kind of products that we have. Our flagship one was the wood product, which saves families 71% in terms of their fuel usage, and is actually a tier 3 stove. However, within the last couple of months, we have actually launched a new product, which is an electric induction cooker. And this is a tier 5 product and has a fuel efficiency of 85%. In contrast, families use the three stones for cooking. That's 15% efficiency. But so far, our products have reached 85% efficiency. And we're also launching new business models, such as our pay-as-you-go model, where we enable families, low-income families, to be able to access our products on a weekly pay-as-you-go model. Yeah, so what's next for us, and how can you be a part of this journey? I think Eunice has been a great support so far in terms of investments. We've also had carbon financing that has come in and dropped the price of our products from $40 to even $3 per stove. So we welcome more investors to partner with us. Second thing is how to create a more enabling environment for us to operate. So through tariffs, through policies that enable us to be able to trade in carbon credits. Yeah, and the last one is, of course, through platforms like TikTok that enable us to reach more customers. So thank you again for this amazing investment. It will go a long way, and we look forward to continuing this partnership with Yunus and TikTok, and to be able to save more lives and save more forests. Thank you so much.
Asante sana.
Thank you and congratulations. Asante sana, Bwana Waziri. I'm sure you guys wanted to see one more move, right? After. Wonderful.
Thank you very much. The leadership of the UN, my very good friend Jackson, and of course the leadership of TikTok, and my colleague government officers here, led by my brother Dennis, who is leading us in this important season. I'm delighted to be here. This is such a momentous week. Yesterday we started a 7-day countdown to celebrating Kenya at 60. Our amazing country is turning 60 in about a week's time. And it is a moment really for us to make a difference. Making a difference of nearly to really. Nearly inclusive to really inclusive. Nearly empowered to really empowered. Nearly monetization to really monetization. And for me, what you're witnessing here today is such a perfect fruit for our Talanta Hela initiative. And Talanta Hela is all about monetization. Monetization across the creative economy, monetization across sports, and to see us witness consolidation of efforts to turn that space as a stream for sustainable livelihoods. It's absolutely amazing and such a perfect way to celebrate our independence anniversary. There couldn't be a better way. And those people who are still imagining that content creation in the creative economy is a sideshow, you got it wrong. It is the main show. It is the main show. And so we are delighted really that we are celebrating this partnership. And among the highlights is the Youth Connekt Africa Summit. I really am happy that His Excellency President William Ruto and the government chose this fantastic theme, or to build the Kenya at 60 celebrations around youth, creative economy, and sports. Really, that is the heartbeat of Kenya. This is a youthful country with a huge youth bulge, with potential for a huge youth boom. This is a very creative country. It is an innovative country. This is a sporting powerhouse. Sports brands Kenya more than anything you can imagine. And so it is such a perfect way to theme our 60th anniversary. And so this morning, I'm very glad to be here to join you. And right from the outset, I want to say that the time we are spending here is already part of our countdown to Kenya at 60. The time we are spending here is already part of amplifying the Youth Connekt Africa Summit agenda. This is very much in sync. And so right from the outset, let me convey very warm greetings and the hearty congratulations from His Excellency the President, Dr. William Ruto, and to say that we are very delighted and we take pride in the work that UNI's social business has done over the years. And as a global organization founded by Nobel Peace Prize laureate Professor Mohamed Yunus, YSB operates with the vision of creating a world where social businesses are the norm rather than the exception, aiming to solve pressing societal issues through sustainable, market-driven solutions. As I have severally stated on various public and private platforms, the government cannot work alone to save the challenges of our great nation, Kenya. And I want to thank YSB for the work that they do here and also globally. As the government of Kenya, Kwanza, we share in the strong and impactful philosophy of Professor Mohamed Yunus that emphasize the belief that entrepreneurship and business can be forces for good, contributing significantly to social change and poverty eradication. TikTok, the very popular social media platform. This is the most popular space in my house. Every direction I look, TikTok. My 7-year-old little boy is hooked onto TikTok. And he's always wowing me with his content creation. So every day he reports to me how the content he has created. So this is a really popular social media platform. And you have had incredible impact that extends beyond entertainment and social interaction. While primarily known for your short-form video content and viral trends, TikTok has also influenced various aspects of society, education and philanthropy, positioning itself as an impact organization. TikTok has provided a platform for individuals from diverse backgrounds to share their stories, talents, and creativity. It has empowered creators to express themselves, build communities, and find their voices, fostering inclusivity and diversity. That is really important. It's perfect sync with our bottom-up economic empowerment agenda as a government. Inclusivity and diversity is really at the core of our administration. Most importantly, in as far as this event is concerned, TikTok has facilitated the growth of small businesses and entrepreneurs by providing a platform for marketing, showcasing products, and reaching wider audiences. On behalf of the Kenya Kwanza administration, I want to thank TikTok for the role that it has played in promoting entrepreneurship and supporting local businesses through creative marketing and advertising strategies. They are indeed a wonderful platform that is driving positive change and contributing to social impact initiatives. We all know that majority of Kenya's workforce is made up of what we call the hustler nation, who are either employed in micro corporations or small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs. While this historically made up more than 70% of Kenya's workforce, it has proven unsustainable in the long run, with rates of unemployment, particularly for our youth, women, and special interest groups, on the rise. The Kenyan workforce is now in the order of 19 million people. Of this, just under 3 million, only 15%, work in formal jobs in both public and private sector, with private sector employing 2 million and public sector just under 900,000. The other 16 million, or 80%, work in micro and small enterprise MSMEs, both formal and informal. The MSME economy itself is extremely diverse. It ranges from well-established small and medium-sized firms, SMEs, that offer its owners and employees stable, dependable income, to the unlicensed street vendors. The MSME economy contributes 85% of non-farm jobs, which today translates to 15 million out of the possible 18 million members of the workforce. Presently, it is absorbing 9 out of 10 of the young people joining the workforce, 750,000 on average, while the formal wage corporate economy barely absorbs 50,000. Kenya National Bureau of Statistics data show that when properly established, MSMEs contribute very significantly to the economy, generating an operating surplus per worker of over 50,000 Kenya shillings per month. This is to say 600,000 per year. This $1.5 million contribution by TikTok will help address the missing middle problem for entrepreneurs by providing long-term, low-interest loans and growth support to social businesses, small and medium enterprises in Kenya and the wider East Africa region. The collaboration between TikTok and Yunus Social Business therefore represents a pivotal effort to leverage business solutions for social good in Kenya and the larger East Africa region. With the 1.5 million partnership between TikTok and YSB, it is aimed at empowering YSB portfolio of over 60 social enterprises, ultimately benefiting approximately 400,000 individuals. Funding is crucial for the growth, impact, and sustainability of social enterprises. It enables them to execute their mission effectively, scale their operations, measure impact, attract talent, and navigate the complexities of the social impact landscape. Ultimately, this will drive positive impact on social challenges, poverty reduction, and the empowerment of entrepreneurs, which the Kenya Kwanza administration committed to supporting in our 2022 to 2027 manifesto, which we call the plan. Indeed, as part of our 5-point agenda for change in Kenya's hustler nation, one of which focuses on micro, small, and medium enterprise, MSME, and financing, a key focus under the Kenya Kwanza government is for SMEs to access 80% of funding and policy that will accelerate job creation and leave no one behind in the empowerment process. We are absolutely leaving no one behind. We are walking this journey with everybody. We have already made moves towards financing by providing MSMEs with 100% access to affordable finance through SACCOs and venture capital, equity and funds, and long-term debt for startups and growth-oriented SMEs. The spirit of the festive season is upon us, a time of joy, reflection, and gratitude. It's a season that transcends boundaries, bringing people together from all walks of life to celebrate the spirit of togetherness and goodwill. It is therefore my pleasure to wish you, on my own behalf, on behalf of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Dr. William Samoei Ruto, a very, very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year 2024. And from now, let us make some content and let us put some pesa mfukoni from our content creation. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana.
All right, thank you. Another round of applause for Waziri. Thank you very much. Would like to request the TikTok team on stage to take a photo with Waziri. He said it's time for TikTok, it's time for content creation. Let's take photos wherever you are, take a video from your angle as we do this. And all our guests.
Everybody from TikTok.
Everybody, YSB team. And our winner.
Prepare, because we don't need the song, we just need a picture. So we are going to rehearse. Yeah, so let's try. 1, 2, go. You go. Hapa. Hapa. You jump and turn. One more time. Tereren. You know. You jump and turn. You see, like him now, he almost caused an accident here. DJ, you ready?
Are you ready?
I hope, camera guys, you've gotten that picture. Very nice. Sometimes this content, Waziri, we cheat. You see me with a Mercedes, it's not mine. I'm just trying. All right, I think Amos, DJ, you know, Waziri, the DJ is on attachment, so that's why we're experiencing these delays.
All right, I'm wondering why the rest are sitting. Come on, guys. That's why the system is hanging. Come on, let's stand up, please. Yes.
Oh, yes.
That is a directive.
Let's be upstanding.
All right.
Even this camera guys, for some minutes, we are going to engage you, but we need you.
All right, kindly be on your feet. It doesn't matter, you just flow, how you feel it. We are all good dancers in our heads.
Stretch a little bit, stretch a little bit. Nairobi is late. Yeah? Hapa, my sister. Yes.
And as we wait, we are not leaving. There will be a cup of tea. We'll go out for 20 minutes. And then our guest will be led for media interview upstairs in server room.
There you go.
Are we ready?
Waziri, we are following you. You seem to have gotten the moves.